ESPN. It's the start of the holiday shopping season. It's Black Friday, and ECU got a bit of a head start earlier in the week. All head coach Blake Harrell did was win games, so he lost the interim tag, and the team made it official on Monday.
I can't tell you how proud I am. The third thing, your new head.
Blake Harrell goes 4-0 as the interim head coach for ECU. Named the full-time head coach on Monday. This is his first game as the full-time head coach. Anish Shroff, Heisman winner Andre Ware. We'll get to Paul Carcaterra in just a moment. ECU and Navy on Black Friday. Happy Thanksgiving. And Andre, quite the Thanksgiving for Blake Harrell. He made the most of this opportunity after Mike Houston was fired.
He really did, and that never gets old. Scenes like that, when you have the entire team kind of interact. You see it when guys are put on scholarship after coming in as walk-ons. It never gets old, but he has done a tremendous job ripping off 4 consecutive wins.
In those 4 wins, ECU has put up at least 500 yards of total offense in every game.
Yeah, 500 or more in those 4 weeks, in those 4 games. Over 200 of that in East was on the ground rushing. The last 4 games in the red zone, they got better there as well. 72% compared to just 46% since Coach Harrell has taken over. It's been a total basically shift in the program. Coaches that were upstairs, the coordinators, are now down on the field with the team calling plays.
And Blake Harrell telling us things have just been a little more loose, a little more fun over this last month. For Navy, they started 6-0. They've lost 3 of 4. They're without their starting quarterback today, but that rushing attack, oh, it is still dangerous.
Oh, it very much so is. And Alec Teska, if he can get himself going, then it's a nightmare for defenses. It all starts with the fullback in the option attack. That's where it all happens. You can get to the edges now, and then you start bringing guys into the box. They go over the top of you in the passing game. Everything starts with the fullback.
It is still a top 10 rushing attack for Navy. And for ECU, Kark, just a different vibe right now.
Oh, yeah, Nish. And ECU had huge news this week with Blake Harrell being the permanent head coach. He's 4-0, but he's outscoring opponents 19 points per game during that stretch. But it's way more than all that. When you talk to the players, he is the right guy, a no-brainer in terms of leading the team. What you see is what you get with Harrell. He's so authentic, and he taps into each and every player on a personal front. Defensive lineman Elijah Morris has been part of this program for 5 years with Harrell, and he told me the news broke on Monday. It was a great moment for him because his relationship with Harrell goes beyond football. He's like family, and he's getting what he deserves because he always puts the players first. There is trust and love, he said, and football brought them together, but it's bigger than that.
Awesome stuff. He just had, I love it when guys have the interim tag, and then when they start winning, they have a chance to become the head coach.
Navy won the toss, elected to defer, and here comes Winston Wright back from injury. And ECU will start just shy of its own 25-yard line. For the Pirates, a tough start to the season. They began 3-4. It cost head coach Mike Houston his job. Back-to-back losses in blowout fashion to Charlotte and Army. Blake Harrell takes over. 4-0 since, bowl eligible, and Caden Hauser has been a big part of that.
Yeah, he really has. He has played well the last 2 weeks. Hadn't gotten off to great starts, but he just kind of gets through it and then starts to drop dimes.
He takes a shot downfield from Anthony Smith, the big play receiver. And it's incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
And I think Anthony Smith knows that he had just missed an opportunity there. He provides the big play ability for this East Carolina Pirate offense.
Hauser took over for Jake Garcia, who had struggled with turnovers. And they keep it on the ground to Rajay Harris, who has come on of late. 100 yards rushing in 3 of his last 4. Had 3 touchdowns last time out in a win against North Texas.
Yeah, don't blink, because this offense likes to line up and go fast. They will execute at a rapid pace.
A clash of tempos in every way. And It's 3rd down and 8 for ECU on this opening drive. Hauser under pressure, and down he goes. Back at the 20-yard line, Griffin Willis gets the sack, his first of the season, and 3 and out go the Pirates.
Yeah, and they didn't do it with a blitz. It's basically just a game. 5-man rush, bringing just Kyle Jacob, a linebacker, and they're able to get home here early against ECU.
Slow starts have been a thing for ECU the last couple of weeks. They had to come back against Tulsa, and were down 21-0 against North Texas a week ago. Here's the punt by the 32-year-old Luke Larson, oldest player in college football. And it is Rayon Lane out across the 40. 47-yard kick by the 32-year-old Larson. We get our first look at Navy. Their leading rusher, their best player on offense, Blake Horvath, the quarterback, out today. So Braxton Woodson will make his 2nd career start, 1st of the season. He is a little bit more limited throwing the ball than Horvath, but he's got a big arm and he's got some speed and size.
The way he was described, a dual threat quarterback who just lacks in experience. He looks the part. He's got a strong arm, but they just haven't seen it on full display. Only a 30% passer in the action that he's had this season.
They'll run the option on 1st down. Gets a nice block from Teska, his fullback. And out close to midfield, the freshman Jamari Riddle, who's played well with the stop.
But he does look the part. 6'3", 215 pounds. You see him turn the corner there. And if he keeps his balance, you may still be making your call. He is a good-looking young man.
And he has been splitting first-team reps all season with Horvath. That's just how Navy operates. And you'll get a lot of this. Late formation shifts. There is the dive. It is Teska. He's their lead fullback, and he's explosive. You mentioned it in the open, Andre.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think of the fullback and the option, and it's the guy who gets 3-4 yards up the middle. Teska can break one.
He can, and he's got a lot of experience. He started 17 games here at the Naval Academy, 8 as a sophomore last year, and has started all but 1 this season. It starts with him. If he gets himself going, it could be a long afternoon for the Pirates.
Navy struggled on 3rd down in its last game against Tulane, 1 for 11. And Daba Fofana into the game as fullback. Woodson to the air, finds the check down. It's Eli Eidenreich, and Eli with a gain of 10, a 1st down. He leads the team now with 31 catches.
And that to me will tell me that should settle Braxton Woodson in as the quarterback. Your first completion, he's gotten hit already. Usually option quarterbacks, you know, it's contact that settles you in. Now he's settled in and he's hit a throw. Let's see what Cody Howard is going through right here.
One of the tight ends, he's been banged up of late, got hurt against Rice. They attend to him at the 42-yard line. Cody Howard helped off the field, and there is Brian Newberry, 2nd season as Navy's head coach after Ken Niumatalolo was let go.
Really turned things around this year. 5-7 a year ago, and then already off to they're bowl eligible with 7 wins coming into this afternoon.
Got off to a great start, 6-0. Have lost 3 of 4 6. Here is the toss on 1st down, and that gets the ball out close to the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 by Eidenreich, who is a junior out of Pittsburgh, a cyber operations major.
Big, physical. Coaches want to get him the ball in space. That's why they use him on plays like that, pitch outs where he can get going, make you miss, and he's got some speed.
Back to the air. Woodson, another quick throw, and there is the issue with accuracy from time to time. Luke Hutchinson was the target. It's third down.
Well, there's a defender inside, and so you're going to throw to the outside shoulder. If the defender's on the outside, you're throwing to the inside shoulder. So I think he was right on time. His receiver just hooked up inside, thinking that he was going to throw there, not seeing the defender. I actually liked the placement of the ball by Woodson.
4 down territory for Navy. It's 3rd and 4. Teska is the fullback. Woodson on the option keeper, stopped in his tracks, maybe a yard. Omar Rogers, the leading tackler for ECU, the safety, comes up with the stop.
Really like him. Very high football IQ for Omar Rogers, and he's a guy that helps get everyone lined up. He's a baller. 6'3", 203, great size for a safety.
No surprise, Navy will go for it. 4th down. Now a long look at the sideline.
And they take full advantage of going to their left, the offense's left, which is the open field.
Woodson backs into the gun. And we get movement.
And a timeout for Navy.
Game ready.
ESPN College Football is presented by Target. Happier holidays from Target. And in part by Burger King. They're here. 3 new delicious Whopper sandwiches created by fans. Get to BK now.
So many great folks who help put our games on the air every week, and a happy Thanksgiving to our hardworking crew. Many of them had to come in Wednesday, Thursday, miss Thanksgiving. We get to spend it with you. It's Black Friday, started the holiday season officially, and East Schroff, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra wishing everybody a happy
Thanksgiving. Yes, indeed.
Healthy holidays, and certainly, hopefully, you had your meal yesterday. It'll be 4th down and 3 to go. And there's that late formation morph by Navy. On the jet motion.
Not sure he got there.
Didn't get there. Brandon Chapman a yard shy, and ECU takes over on downs.
Obviously, Navy has seen something to the left side of East Carolina's defense because they continue to try to attack there. And ECU is just kind of, here on this first drive, they rose up and said, we're just fine on this side.
On 1st down, it is Rajay Harris for a short gain. It's been an odyssey, Andre, for Harris, the young man who, as a freshman in 2020, Conference Rookie of the Year. 2 years later, torn ACL, not quite the same last year. He's finally starting to find his stride down the stretch.
That's what the coaches told us. He is really coming into his own. Nice quick pass here by Caden Hauser to pick up a 1st down for ECU.
That's Casey Kelly, who came back from injury last time out against North Texas. 6th-year tight end. Older brother Chad, former Ole Miss quarterback. Screen pass. Harris has a tunnel and pinballs to the 35-yard line, a gain of 19. And now ECU is full throttle.
Yeah, when they pick up a 1st down, you can best believe the tempo speeds itself up.
Harris ankle tackled in space. That is Rayon Lane, who is Navy's top NFL prospect.
I'll tell you what, Rajon Harris, they told us he's not a blazer, but he doesn't get caught from behind either. So once he gets himself going, boy, it is danger for defense.
Right back to Harris. Goal to go for ECU. 29 more for the 5th-year senior.
Boy, what a nice job in the middle. Dustin Hall, the center, along with Hamp Ergel. 2 guys up front clearing the way for their running back.
They go right back to Harris, charging forward. And he's going to be stopped just shy of the goal line to the 1. And this drive escalated quickly. Turnover on downs. ECU known to score with speed. 41 of their 44 touchdown drives in 4 minutes or less this season.
Well, they've got about 4 drives where they've scored in less than 44 seconds. So you talk about fast, and they operate at light speed. That's this East Carolina offense. It's fun to watch.
They'll use a jumbo set, and we get a flag.
Got a false start. You got backs in the backfield. Sometimes that's what happens when you're going to go quick count. Everybody's anticipating it, and they just flinch a little bit early.
That's what happens when you take your time, I guess.
Yeah, huddle up, get to the line. Even then, they're trying to go fast because they're breaking the huddle, and they're going on the first count or first sound, and that's fast.
We still have not seen Chase Sowell, one of their top receivers. Didn't play last time out. First man can't bring him down again. And it sets up a 3rd and goal for ECU. Within 4-down territory.
Talked to us about his work habits, and works really hard, kind of a no-nonsense attitude every day. He is the complete package. He's excellent in pass protection. Obviously, he can run and catch it to go along with that.
Anthony Smith is the motion man. Quick throw, knocked away, intended for Smith. Broken up by Ira Oniha, who they call their best cover corner.
Yeah, he's had some hamstring issues, so he is not totally healthy, but feeling pretty good, and he could go today.
And Andre, ECU will leave the offense out there.
And I agree with this totally. You got a defense that had a nice first series of downs, 7 of 8 on 4th downs of 3 yards or less. So let's see if they can put it in here. There's 57% on the year on 4th down.
2 tight ends and a fullback. Little play action. Hauser to the end zone. Had Savage wide open, and he missed him.
Remember what I told you last week? When a guy's running wide open, that's the toughest throw for a quarterback. Is you work against guys that are covered, where to place the football, if a guy's on the inside or outside. But when they're running just wide open, that's a tough throw. ECU with a 4th down, comes up short rather on 4th down. It'll be Navy's ball when we come back.
Let's review. We're not going to talk about traffic or weather. If anyone brings up lawn care, I will handle it. Hosting can be extremely difficult for young homeowners turning into their parents.
Oh, are you done with this? I'll just take that.
Okay. He's still drinking.
Right. Oh, look what the cat...
Nope. Nope. Let's try with us.
It is all about rivalries. Tennessee,
Some good ones.
goes to Vandy. You've got the Iron Bowl. Texas and Texas A&M playing for a spot in the SEC championship. Braxton Woodson, quarterback for Navy, knows a little bit about the Iron Bowl. His dad, Lamar, played at Auburn. Uncle Danny played at Bama. And then cousin, Danny II, also played at Bama. And Braxton Woodson grew up, obviously, an Auburn fan, with his dad having gone there. So I'm sure the Woodson household will be locked in tomorrow afternoon to Bama.
Auburn's going into that game with some momentum. Not so much with Bama, having traveled to Oklahoma last week and had it taken to them. So you don't know which Alabama team's going to show up for that game.
Auburn had that 4-overtime win against Texas A&M, and hasn't been too often we've gotten to the end of the regular season and Bama has had 3 losses. That's a run to Heidenreich for a gain of 2. It sets up 3rd down for Navy inside its own 10.
A lot of jerseys, East Carolina jerseys around the football, and I'm sure that's what they really concentrated on. Blake Harrell and his defense get a lot of bodies to the football this week.
Harrell had been the defensive coordinator, still serving in the DC role, even as the interim head coach and now the full-time head coach as of Monday.
His whole deal and belief is Could they win on the interior? Their defensive line against Navy's O-line.
Heidenreich can't get there. It's 4th down. You get Navy into 2nd and long, 3rd and long. It makes it so much easier to defend the option principles.
Excellent tackle by Ty'Meer Brown. And forcing Navy to punt it away. So close, but you're so deep and into your own territory. They're anywhere close to midfield. That I would imagine Navy would go for it there, but when you're just outside your 10-yard line, you got to punt this one away.
Riley Reithman will punt it away, and a chance here for Riddle. And the true freshman gets ECU inside the Navy 35-yard line. So Reithman, who's normally been an outstanding punter, statistically the best in school history, a short 36-yard kick, and ECU starts in plus territory with a short field. As you see the offensive numbers over the last 4 games. And Andre, we spoke about it.
That's
a lot has to do with a lot of the intangibles, changing the mood, changing meeting times, shorter practices.
Yep, shorter practices, shorter meeting times, allowing these players to actually have a little more fun and give them some more freedom.
London Montgomery on 1st down. Machetes into the secondary for a gain of 19.
Yeah, averaging 500 yards per game, 40 points. We'll take a look at this offense right now. We'll get back to you in a sec. Well, Nish, continuing on this, when I spoke to Katin Houser, he told me he's eliminating the dumb plays, and having Coach Baker, the OC, on the sideline, who used to be up in the booth, has made all the difference in the world. Their communications, they're on the same page, and it's a comfort level that he has now.
Going quickly, quarterback keeper, and Houser to the 8. It's 3rd and short.
And he said he could see, you know, he wanted to look into guys, their eyes, and he said over the phone, they could just flat out lie to me. He said, but they can't because I see it in their eyes when I'm down on the field. It's a much better vantage point. You can correct a little bit faster rather than having someone go run the quarterback down to get him to the phone. He's right there. He said, I can go grab him myself and fix things.
Little pitch out, dangerous. And Montgomery forced out of bounds. Excellent open field tackle. There's Lane again, who continues to make plays. And it's 4th down. Offense out there for ECU.
Didn't flinch again. They got down here their first drive and were stopped. Actually, an incompleted pass in the back of the end zone intended for Tyler Savage. They didn't flinch. They're going for it right here again.
They're going to be aggressive. 4th and 2.
And they're going to huddle up, which we don't see. It's called a muddle huddle. And everybody's kind of facing the defense. You can escape it fast and get the ball snapped.
Winston Wright in motion. Hard count here by Houser.
Play clock.
East Carolina.
Getting down to about 2 seconds or so and decide to spend the time out and talk about it.
That's where you do the Jameis Winston. Come on, jump off sides. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Catch the exclusive reveal of the latest college football playoff rankings. Reese and the guys will break it all down, and it all leads into Champ Week. And there should be some riveting matchups. Let's assume for a moment Oregon and Ohio State meet in the Big Ten Championship. Winner of that game, #1 seed, bye to the quarterfinals. Loser probably will be #2 in the rankings, but could fall out of that bye spot, and you're playing in the first round now as a 5 seed.
I wonder what happens if this go around Ohio State overtakes Oregon. You know, how do you justify that? Do they become #1? Because
I think so.
At this point in the season, so it's a lot to talk about, a lot to unravel.
And again, if you're not a conference champion, you can't get one of those top 4 byes. And a flag. Penalties have been an issue for ECU.
False start. Number 62. Offense.
Marion.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's Parker Moore, the left tackle.
I thought they'd move the guy over.
So now a field goal for Andrew Conrad.
They got the wrong
decision out of it.
I think it was 62 and not 52.
Conrad on the season 8 for 11. He's actually had some misses in his career inside of 30, just 10 of 14 inside of 30. This is from 30.
Never had a chance.
No good. Wow.
Never had a chance. And so second drive for East Carolina stalls out inside the 5-yard line for the Pirates. And we told you they had been just about automatic in the red zone at 72% in the last 4 games. Not so much today.
Let's take a look at today's road test presented by Goodyear. Navy 3-1 on the road, and their issue at times when things have gone haywire, not taking care of the football. They've done a pretty good job with that away from Annapolis.
Just don't expect that from a Navy coached team.
They're going to throw on first down. Woodson lets it fly. He wants Kent. It is tipped and incomplete. Andrew Wilson-Lamp got his hands on it. This was a ECU defense. Andre, you lost Savone Revel, a first-round pick at cornerback early in the year.
Yeah, and a lot of teams have thrown at Andrew Wilson-Lamp, but not today. Not on his watch today. He's a long guy, too, with great makeup speed, 6'3", 186 pounds, and he'll provide a little help for him over the top, but there are going to be some times that you see Navy go at him.
He was the guy who stepped into the starting lineup after Revel went down. There's the option. Woodson does not have a whole lot of room. So far, ECU has done a nice job defending this Navy run game.
Really have. Mentioned it earlier. A lot of bodies, a lot of jerseys showing up around the football for East Carolina. That's how you have to play against Navy. Even if it's just fullback dive, you got to have just about the entire front 7 taking place in the tackle to make sure that he doesn't shake himself free and force it into a big play.
It's an option offense, but a few more wrinkles under offensive coordinator Drew Tronick. ECU showing blitz off the edge. They bring it. There's the screen pass. Some room to run. Tesco able to pick up a first down, but there is a flag back at the 23.
That big Brent Self got a block. Tesco may still be running. Just turn back inside and shield off the defender coming from inside out. You don't want it to be a crackback block, and one of those where you draw the flag.
Holding.
See what the call is here.
Offense.
It's against Navy.
Repeat. Third down.
Hope Smith the second. Keep an eye on him at right guard. He started today ahead of Cam Nichols, who he usually splits time with, but right there inside. I don't know that he had to do it. He's right there at the end. And this is where you don't want to be if you're a Navy fan. 3rd and 16. This offense is not designed to pick up anything behind the down and distance mark.
Woodson will run. Launching for the first down, and he gets there across the 30. 17 on the ground for the sophomore.
Had to eat my words like I was eating that slice of pie before we came on the air. My goodness, nice athletic play by Braxton Woodson. Excellent. 3rd and 16. He gets enough for the first down, and Navy gets to continue this drive. That's excellent play on his part.
Pumpkin or pecan?
It was Pumpkin. Pecan was yesterday.
Out of a split back look, there is Tesco again. Omar Rogers, who had a career high 13 tackles last week with another stop.
I saw that pie downstairs we were having.
You were staring at it. I saw it.
I wanted it, and then it got the better of me, so I had to send a text down, have someone run just a slice up. I was thinking about only myself. Colleen sent the whole pie up, so you guys are more than welcome to join in. Well, don't leave me out. Don't leave me out here by myself.
We leave you too long with that punt, there won't be any left.
You won't have an opportunity to have any.
Misdirection. Woodson keeps sandwiched. A loss of a yard on the play. That's Devin King. King is familiar with the option offense. He ran it in high school, now playing in the secondary for ECU.
Yeah, he's really played well at times this year. They are not afraid whatsoever to put him into the game. We made a great point earlier with Woodson getting the same opportunities that Horvath gets in practice, same amount of reps. You can see that he's not deer in the headlights on the field. He is playing with some confidence.
Another 3rd and long for Navy and a low snap. Woodson on the run, incomplete for Heidenreich. And Navy has to punt. ECU continues to get Navy behind the chains. That's a good formula for the Pirates.
It really is. Long term for this game, absolutely it is. But this is one that I thought Heidenreich should have caught. This is a well-thrown ball away from the defender, low and outside. You got to catch that one. Defenders coming from inside out. The placement of the football was absolutely perfect. Got to help your quarterback sometimes.
So Reithman averages 44 yards a punt. Riddle is clipped. That is Rayon Lane again. You can see why.
Yep.
The NFL is drooling over number 18 in white. A quarter in the books in Greenville. Scoreless.
We interrupt with an important announcement.
The Simpsons Fun Day Football is coming to Springfield on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Monday, Bart and the Bengals face off against Homer and the Cowboys in primetime. Football fans and Simpsons nerds finally come together to watch the game live from Springfield. Watch The Simpsons Fun Day Football between the Bengals and the Cowboys. Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus.
We interrupt with an important announcement.
The Simpsons Fun Day Football is coming to Springfield. Bart and the Bengals face off against Homer and the Cowboys in prime time. Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus.
Coach, what's critical in terms of stopping this Navy run game?
You know, you got to make sure you're taking care of the dive, the quarterback, the option, all phases. Make sure you're very disciplined in those phases and do a good job just tackling, too. We got to do a better job tackling, especially on the 3rd down right there.
Why weren't you able to punch the ball in?
We got to keep executing. We're getting all the way down the field. We got to run the ball in the red zone inside the 10-yard line. 2 stupid false start penalties. We got to correct those and get it going and put those points.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, great questions by Paul.
Great questions.
2 drives for ECU. Both died inside the 10-yard line as Marlon Gunn gets a couple on 1st down. 4th down and goal. Savage, the tight end, wide open. Hauser just missed him, and then a missed field goal from 30. It should be 10-0 ECU. Instead, a scoreless game here in the 2nd. Hauser, a little quick hitter. That's Winston Wright, the problem solver. And he's tackled immediately. 3rd down.
It's good to see him back in the game because he came off after a punt return, got tackled, and is limping a little bit. And really got himself back in. He's been a player since, big contributor since his freshman year. True freshman year.
That was at West Virginia for 3 years. Florida State the last 2. Hauser steps up. The Michigan State transfer. He's going to be close. Looks to be about a half-yard shy.
Give it to him. Wow, they're going to give it to him, waving the chain gang on. So
now the official from the far side seemed to be positioned behind the line to gain. Surprised they're not stopping play here to look at it. ECU is going to go quickly. Can't do it now. Gunn picks up the blitz. And the throw incomplete for Wright. Coverage by the safety and Beatty Williams.
Beatty Williams, you're right, closed quickly and basically caused that wide throw by Hauser. I'm impressed with just Navy in terms of how they have guys always around the football in multiple white jerseys. It's impressive. Every time we do one of their games, though, you come away from it just you're refreshed.
It restores your faith in college football and amateur athletics as Colin Ramos gets the tackle.
Because these are young men that play because they love the game. And they're not getting NIL money. They're not transferring in and out. And then, as a matter of fact, after the first 2 years, you sign a contract that you're obligated to pay money back if you decide to leave.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-7 deal. 2 more years at the academy and then 5 years of service. Hauser navigating a zigzag path, and he's going to be close to another first down. It's going to bring up 4th down and a yard this time.
0 for 2 on 4th downs, and here they are at midfield. This is a little different than being inside your own 10-yard line. I think they may punt this one away.
They bring on the punt team and Luke Larson.
It's amazing what success or the lack of will do. They get the ball into the end zone. This scenario presents itself. I'll bet you Blake Harrell's going for it. But with 2 missed opportunities out midfield, it's a shorter field, obviously, for Navy. They're going to punt it away here and play defense.
Their defense has handled Navy. Larson bounces this one and takes a pirate roll. And it's down at the 8-yard line. A 45-yard kick, no return. A long way to go for the midshipmen. Still scoreless at Dowdy-Ficklin.
And Doug.
Whoa, Limu, we're in a parade. Everyone, customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save! And then I wake up.
And you have this dream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You have to have a dream, a goal. You have to be willing to work for it.
We are not going to stop chasing a dream. We can't.
You look up not giving up in the dictionary, a picture of my wife would be there.
You're one of the strong ones, okay? Just remember that.
You're stronger. My dad would be so thankful for all of the lives that have been saved.
When we spoke to Navy head coach Brian Newberry, it was refreshing in that when we talk to a lot of coaches these days, they will complain and tell us about how the changing landscape of college football makes their job exponentially harder. You've got to always fight for your kids in the portal. You've got to re-recruit your kids. NIL and money hanging over everything.
Yep.
At Navy, at the service academies, you can coach football. So many of the other distractions go away. Jackson Gutierrez makes his college debut and gets out to the 14-yard line. Newberry telling us, Andre, that continuity and culture, which have become challenges for almost everyone else in college football, those have now become real advantages even when you have a talent gap.
And whereas, other coaches are worried about certain things that you just talked about, they just worry about football. He told us, going down to the academy and seeing the players down there, they're encouraged about what's coming in the next couple of years. So it's just a different vibe and a different course of action that Navy coaches, Army, I throw them in there, Air Force, BYU would be in that category. You don't have to worry. You don't have the worries that most other schools have about keeping your own players, how you're going to recruit a player. If you're in the living room, what's the bag I'm getting, to come there? Those aren't conversations for Coach Newberry and his staff.
3rd down after no gain on the play. Omar Rogers made the tackle.
I'm not a big NIL fan. You know that, right?
I do know that.
I'm probably in the minority in that aspect, but I don't really care.
And is this going the other way? ECU says it is.
I think the arm was coming forward as
One official is pointing that it's ECU football.
Recovered by the defense.
Just take a look at this and see if the arm of Gutierrez was coming forward.
Boy.
Well, the ball certainly goes forward. He's pulled it back, and I think this is an incomplete pass.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. That play is in the further review.
Now pressure coming from Samuel Danka.
Not sure if that's just the quarterback in me that says that, but I do believe Jackson Gutierrez his arm was coming forward. He obviously located a target, so that's got to be in play, and you see him pull the ball back to go there.
As that
that's
hand coming forward,
so close.
Andre, it's almost too close where I'm not sure you're going to find enough to change the call.
Overturn the call. And that we've had certain situations where that's exactly the case.
And this is a spot too. You have Jackson Gutierrez, true freshman from San Antonio, first collegiate series. They like his upside. But he comes in, he gets greeted rudely, and now ECU may have another short field. You almost get the sense, if you've watched this game unfold, well, the Pirates should be in full control, and yet you look at the scoreboard, 0-0.
Yeah, man, that's a tough place to put a true freshman in the game for his first snaps. You're inside your own 10-yard line to start the drive. That's just tough. You know, I may have waited a series. I know that's where they had him earmarked to come into this game, but it may be one on game day where you say, hey, let's give him a little more breathing room for his first series of downs and let him wait another series or two where it's a little more manageable. I still think this may be an incompleted pass at the end of the day.
Roy Reynolds is the replay official, head referee Edwin Lee. And you saw Blake Horvath on the sideline in the red hat talking to Gutierrez. Horvath
being a coach today.
Now, he was somebody who came into the game fourth nationally in rushing yards by a quarterback. It's a big loss, but he's been hurt most of the season.
The ruling on the field stands. First down.
Yeah, just not enough there to change it, to overturn it to being an incompleted pass. And you're coaching against me on the other sideline. What are you thinking right about now?
Well, I know you want to call a shot play.
I'm going to the end zone. Absolutely right. Let's see if East Carolina and John David Baker, their offensive coordinators, thinking the same way. I asked him that. If you get a sudden change, you know, what do you do in that situation? Are you a shot taker? He says, well, you know, the other team's expecting it, but I don't mind taking shots.
He said he might do it for you.
Let's see if he's true to his word here.
Turnovers have been problematic for Navy during this 1-3 skid. The tight end Kelly in motion. They run the ball. And it's Rajay Harris for a gain of 3. Third trip in the red zone for ECU. They missed a wide open tight end in the end zone. Should have been 6.
They've run 7 plays from the 10-yard line or in, and they have 0 points to show for it so far.
And they also missed a field goal from 30. You heard Blake Harrell tell Paul Carcaterra they wanted to run it when they got close, but Navy able to swarm Harris. It's going to be a loss on the play, and now 3rd and long.
Almost seems like they're forcing the run a little bit. Navy has been up to speed on it, taking out lead blockers and getting to Rajay Harris. It's an excellent job by Kyle Jacob.
He and Ramos, 2 terrific linebackers in the middle. Jacob out of Paramus, New Jersey.
Super tough.
Hauser off the hands of Anthony Smith, incomplete. And it was the linebacker Jacob in coverage that time. 4th down and 11. So another red zone opportunity for ECU, and they'll have to settle for a field goal try.
Yeah, the pocket's kind of closing down around Hauser. It was a nice ball to Anthony Smith. You got to hold on to it. Just got to hold on to it. I'm not sure he would have come out of there and gotten the first down, but it would have been close to make it a decision for Blake Harrell.
Conrad missed from 30 earlier, this from 35. Larson to hold. And this time he gets ECU on the board with a 35-yard field goal. We break the seal on the scoring. Sometimes you got to wait a little bit for that Thanksgiving meal.
Our Friday spotlight shines on the ever-talented Navy captain and fullback Daba Fofana. Daba is an applied physics major who also plays the cello, an instrument he's been playing since the 5th grade. Daba enjoys the escape the cello provides, but also how it translates to football from a focus perspective. Both hands are constantly engaged when playing the instrument. As a fullback, he needs to carry the ball and focus on technique, but also opposing defensive alignments. Daba plans on being a doctor and was recently selected for the medical corps as his service assignment upon graduation in May. Less than 10 individuals, gentlemen, get that assignment from the academy. And he told me this week, your mind can be a base camp of enemy with doubt sometimes. Stay true to yourself. There are no limits when chasing your dreams. This guy is so impressive on every front.
He's a captain on a team full of leaders and a team full of men who will be the next leaders of our country. As we get a touchback and we get a moment to check in with Kevin Negandhi in the studio.
Anish, good afternoon. AT&T countdown to the CFP. This game on ABC Book, Colorado coming off that loss to Kansas, hosting Oklahoma State. Travis Hunter already has a pick, and here we go. Here's a touchdown.
I love the play. The inside receiver clears out. Travis Hunter, the outside receiver, comes in. I think he's won the Heisman.
Oh, yeah, he's the Heisman favorite. And there's the Deion dance. 4th game with a pick and a touchdown this season. Anish, Andre, Paul, back to you.
Yeah, I'm standing next to somebody who's got a vote.
I like the kid a lot, I'll tell you that. I'm looking forward to seeing Kevin and Booger in a couple of weeks.
Teska with the run. You're not tipping your hand, huh?
Not yet.
Do you get in trouble if you do?
You get called into the principal's office a little bit.
You know I've been all over you, Trey.
On the back of the hand. Oh, yeah, you work me every week. Every week.
We're trying to get Andre to make a few bad decisions.
Not going to happen.
Second down, the fake to Heidenreich. Down the seam, and a little too hot that time for Teska. Yeah, you can see the big arm for Woodson. He's got a little nuclear in him, too.
Yeah. The thing about young quarterbacks who hadn't played a lot that have arm talent, where they can throw it, through a wall, is that every time they want to throw it through a wall. And the thing you have to learn is to throw with touch. There, maybe one over the top with a little bit less touch when you got a guy running underneath. Like Kingston McKinstry there is, that's what's called for.
There comes the blitz. And Woodson goes down. Zakai Barker, the soul stone of that ECU defense, with his 3rd sack of the season.
This is a good defensive, grinding football game because no team wants to flinch. I know East Carolina's got a field goal, but they don't want to flinch as well as Navy.
Flag down on the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5, Navy. After this is the goal line, the down count, 4th down.
Yeah, that's on Woodson, the quarterback.
Well, you don't see that from Navy-coached football teams at all. He's got and he's hearing it right now from Brian Newberry. See where penalty comes in. Kind of throws the football at one of the defenders.
Reithman is a weapon. A chance here on a return. Flag down, though.
They're going to have a block in the back. It's coming back.
So Riddle taking the returns instead of Winston Wright, who's back from injury after missing last week.
Wait to get the official word here, but I think all of us up here saw it. Let's see if the
Here's
official
the
sees it.
return. Illegal block in the back. Number 7. Return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Kerry King, I think, is the guilty party in that situation. Nope, I apologize. Not Kerry King. Trying to help out. Effort penalties coaches can deal with. It's the pre-snap stuff that a guy like Blake Harrell gets kind of sick to his stomach about when you have opportunities to score any penalty then, but especially a pre-snap penalty. They get a little bit over.
Taking a shot downfield, Smith behind the defense, but it's overthrown, incomplete.
My, he had me fooled with the play fake. I thought the ball was in the belly of the running back, London Montgomery. And then all of a sudden I see him come out of it and it's shooting it down the field to Anthony Smith. But I was fooled. I think half of Navy's defense was fooled on the play fake.
That's how you sell play action. Back to the air. Falling down, the tight end, Riles, but it's incomplete. Third down.
Just seems Caden Hauser seems a little bit off here in the first quarter. And they told us that, you know, the last 2 games, he didn't start great the last 2 weeks, but he was unfazed by it. Eventually he got himself going, and this offense started to generate points and yards. See if he can get things turned around here against this Navy group.
Hauser just 3 out of 10. He had back-to-back games with 5 touchdowns against FAU and Temple. Here comes the blitz, and down he goes.
Timed it perfectly.
Like a heat-seeking missile, McAnthony Parker.
True freshman out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. He comes free. He allows the protection to set itself. And then all of a sudden, number 56 is going to come untouched. As soon as the left guard squeezes down inside, here comes 56 on the quarterback. And I'm not sure exactly why the left guard moved inside as opposed to a guy right over your nose, not just blocking straight on, because that's the threat. That's immediate.
Mark Anthony Parker, freshman, as you said, from Fredericksburg. And ECU, remember, they shuffled their offensive line mid-season as we get a timeout by the Pirates. The AAC on ESPN Plus is your exclusive home for more than 1,000 events, including all of the American Conference Championships, as well as the All Access Series. You can sign up today at ESPNplus.com/AAC. And this weekend only, you get the Black Friday deal, 12 months for the price of 9 when you sign up. It's been an eventful year in the American Conference. Army was undefeated prior to last week when they lost to Notre Dame. They'll play Tulane in the conference championship. Tulane.
That game surprised you yesterday, Memphis-Tulane?
Yeah, losing to Memphis. Tulane was a team where, if you looked at the last batch of rankings, had they won out,
had a shot.
They would have had a shot to get into the college football playoff. Now they'll need some help. Most likely some chaos in the Mountain West. That punt goes out of bounds on a bounce. Navy with the football, 7:34 to go in the half. Midshipmen looking to get on the board. Navy was shut out last time out against Tulane. They have not scored since a touchdown early in the fourth quarter of a win against South Florida. That was 2 games ago. Wow.
Usually don't see either of these teams the way they've been going the last couple of weeks, especially East Carolina offensively struggle the way they have. They've been putting up points basically when they wanted to.
ECU 3 trips in the red zone, only 1 score, a field goal. RPO, and Teska rumbles down the sideline for a big gainer. That's going to be a first down to the 25-yard line of ECU, a pickup of 30.
Yeah, they talked about his speed to get to the edges and wanted to get him there, and that's a pretty good way to do it. Just like release him out to the flats.
How about Navy going no huddle? And Teska mashes the spin button for a gain of a couple.
I love what they're doing here, and they're trying to use the athletic ability of Bryson Woodson. You know, if Teska's not there, he's going to keep it, but obviously you go to the first color that's yours in that read, and Teska was there, turns it up the sideline for a big play, and Navy getting closer to the red zone.
Heidenreich in motion. Woodson keeps and lunges forward. It sets up a third down and about 3, and you better believe this is 4-down territory.
He really is a good-looking athlete, you know it? It's hard to bring down, and you can tell he's gotten the reps in this offense where he can run this scheme with some confidence. Body language looks good.
Fullback dive for Fano. The subject of Clark's Friday night spotlight gets close.
About a half-yard shy of picking up the first down. I don't think Navy will flinch here with it being this deep in East Carolina territory. They'll go for it. And on 4th downs for the season, Navy 68%, 13 of 19.
Teska, the fullback. Tush push. Woodson, did he get there?
I don't think so. And I think they're already pointing the other way for East Carolina. I thought somebody may have jumped off sides for East Carolina.
ECU gets another 4th down stop.
See if indeed someone from had a little bit of a head start, maybe.
Yeah, right there.
Not sure what the number was.
The A-gap.
Yeah. Great angle. Well, maybe not from that angle. Great camera shot there.
ECU,
good job, fellas, with that one.
Has shackled this Navy rushing offense here in the first half. They go back to work. There's Rajay Harris. Interesting, Andre. We saw a lot of Montgomery, a little bit of Gunn as well, as Harris gets a first down, a pickup of 10. Part of what ECU will do, they'll give those other guys more touches in the first half. They want Harris fresh in the second half. He looks fresh now and brought down by Ramos, the American Conference's top tackler.
He is legitimately the complete package. After rushing for 100 yards in 3 of their last 4 games, went for 128 in their last game and 3 touchdowns. They're just waiting on him to get hot.
Navy crowding the box, and this time they stop Harris for a loss, 3rd down.
I think Navy may be primed for a double move or a shot play off play action. Mr. Anthony Smith just got to hang on to the football along with Yannick Smith. They can find a way to get him a couple of attempts, a couple of looks. He's an alpha dog, and as a true freshman, you got to almost feed him the ball, or it's a little on edge.
He's played well the last couple of weeks in place of the injured Chase Sowell. We have not seen Sowell today. 4-man twist, quick slant, incomplete. Intended for Jari Patterson, the senior from Asheville, and it's 4th down, so ECU gets the stop on defense. Can't do anything with the ball.
Well, they say when things are going wrong and you run a hurry-up offense, you're just hurrying up to punt it. And it seems like that's been the case here in the first half for this one for ECU. Just cannot find the consistency they need to move the football against Navy.
Yeah, credit some of that to Navy's defense.
But Rayon Lane, the 3rd, adding to his resume as a punt returner.
And he makes the fair catch inside the 25. They really like him. Semifinalist for the Thorpe Award. Tomorrow's SEC tripleheader on ABC, all about in-state rivalries. Tennessee likely into the college football
that last one in College Station.
And then Texas and Texas A&M. Not only a spot in the SEC championship, but for A&M, they've got 3 losses. They also have 2 top 10 wins. You have a chance to knock off Texas. If A&M wins,
just keep winning.
If A&M wins and loses to Georgia, can they get in as a 4-loss team?
No, no way. No way a 4-loss team gets into the playoff. I know it's designed for, you know, some kind of an advantage with the SEC and the Big Ten. But no, I don't think you get a 4-loss team in.
Quick hitter, Heidenreich.
That'll be a tough
first down.
It's going to be a tough challenge for Texas because of what they faced on their schedule this year and going to a place, in my opinion, toughest place in college football to play a football game.
Yeah, oh, by the way, they haven't played since 2011. There was some hard feelings after A&M originally left for the SEC.
That place will be crazy tomorrow.
RPO. Woodson's throw broken up, incomplete. Wanted Heidenreich, and there's the freshman Riddle in coverage.
You know who's been impressive? Zakai Barker, 33 in purple, and watching him on the sidelines. He's the leader. He told me this week, this is a get your cleats in the ground type game against Navy. Alignments are huge. One false step can cost you. Bad eyes, he said, like in real life, will get you in trouble. But watching him, his eyes, his communication, he wears the green dot. He is a big reason why they're shutting down this rushing attack from Navy.
He's the quarterback, so to speak, on the defensive side for East Carolina.
Woodson fakes the sweep. Wow. Breaks a tackle. There is that power and that athleticism from Braxton Woodson. A first down. There's a flag at the end of the play.
It's going to be another 15 yards added onto this for a late hit out of bounds on Braxton Woodson. You start to see why they like him so much, and kind of got hit down below the knee area.
He's still down.
And that's because of the late hit.
Personal foul for 56. Defense, late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty at the end of the run. First down.
Deontay Johnson, they call him Big Tay.
Man, this is just a fabulous athletic play. Breaks 2 or 3 tackles there, and then all of a sudden the speed. It's big number 56. Deontay Johnson.
He was trying to make a play, and I don't know if it was malicious.
But you know, when a quarterback is, you know he's going out of bounds, you got to find a way to pull up in today's game. Now, a few years ago, I don't think that's a late hit out of bounds.
Now the penalties, Andre, for ECU, the last 2 games, even though they won, 25 penalties, 252 penalty yards, and it looks like Gutierrez, the freshman, is going to come into the game. True freshman from San Antonio. Played 1 series in this first half, his collegiate debut, and turned it over.
Yeah, I hope we get to see Braxton Woodson again, because it seems like he's just getting himself going.
Remember, Blake Horvath, the starting quarterback, and a darn good one, is out today. A rib injury and back spasms. First down and 10 from the ECU 26.
That could be a painful injury. Ribs, you cough. And then, man, let me tell you, I've had them. It's tough.
It's the dive. And there is Teska. Andre, you played in the wing tee in high school.
Yep.
And the offensive principles for Navy, there's a lot of options sprinkled in, and their OC, Drew Kroenig, said it's a lot of wing tee stuff, but they've added shotgun, they've added pistol, some RPO. It's sort of an advanced 5.0 version, if you will, of the option. As Heidenreich gets the toss and picks up a first.
Yeah, a lot of similarities. Wing tee has a lot of misdirection in it, where you're faking it one way and going the other, and some option principles to it as well. So that's kind of his background. and then you mix that in with just true option principles, you get some stuff that's hard to defend because you get guys are getting defenders going one way, and all of a sudden the ball is out the back door.
Now, when the NCAA eliminated all perimeter and downfield cut blocks, it made it that much harder for option teams to succeed. But Army started off great this year. Navy started off 6-0. And Gutierrez takes it inside the 10-yard line. And the key
young fella coming in and doing some work.
We're at the 2-minute timeout. Navy inside the ECU 10.
Get 50% off select toys at Target to wrap up more gifts for under the tree.
It's Black Friday, the official start of the holiday season. Navy looking to unwrap its first score of the game inside the 10, second down. And Braxton Woodson on a run where he went out of bounds and was hit below the knee, left the game. He's the number 2 quarterback. The starter, Horvath, out. So the true freshman Gutierrez in there running behind his fullback.
Good tough run.
And gets his second effort for a first down. That is 5 first downs on this drive for Navy. They only had 3 on their previous 6 possessions.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson in helping out on the stop again from his defensive tackle position. But this is just a tough run by Jackson Gutierrez. Just refused to quit, got past the down and distance marker, and got a couple of more yards. So now they're going to start this series of down. Fresh start here for Navy inside the 5.
ECU only has 1 timeout. Remember, they've used 2 already, so Navy can take their time. Not much room for Gutierrez. Jamarly Riddle coming up from that safety position to get in the backfield right away. Second down.
Very cautious about what they call for him at this stage in the game, trying to make sure they keep the points they have in their back pocket. Don't want to give up the football right here with a youngster trying to do a little bit too much, and you shouldn't have asked him to do a whole lot in this situation.
Remember, Navy also gets the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. Teska's the fullback. Heidenreich motions. Heidenreich gets the call like a battering ram. He gets close all the way to the 1. It's 3rd and goal.
Now who can get the lowest? Is it the D line for East Carolina, or is it the offensive line for Navy? Who gets slower?
Navy
to get push.
30 seconds.
So Navy calls a timeout with 28 seconds to go. It's 3rd and goal. Chicago Bears may want to take notes as we check in with Kevin Nagandi.
Anish, thank you so much. Avocados from Mexico. Halftime report coming your way. We will have Bears news. Matt Eberflus is out, the very latest. Booger McFarland going to join us too. Top 2 Heisman candidates are right now in action. We'll have highlights of Ashton Jeanty as well as Travis Hunter playing. What are you seeing so far from Navy?
Well, obviously the offense has struggled without their starting quarterback Blake Horvath, but with this drive, I think the offensive line is finally showing their will, controlling the line of scrimmage a little bit more.
Andre talked about the physicality. We'll see you at the half. Back to you guys.
He had to go, didn't he? He had to go.
No, yeah. After yesterday's mishap with the clock and not calling timeout, it's almost.
And then doubling down after the game and saying that was the right decision.
Yeah, almost like you were trying to get that call to the principal's office.
They were looking at Jamarly Riddle, good-looking true freshman who has stepped up as a playmaker in that secondary for ECU. He appears to be okay.
Youngster, they really like this true freshman.
So Navy has the ball at the 1-yard line. It's 3rd and goal. They still have a timeout left. I would imagine this is probably 4-down territory, although you don't get it here. And if you're going backwards, maybe you kick and take the points, but that's not how Navy customarily operates.
Yeah, anything positive, whether you get it down to the inch line, I think they go for it, and I agree with you. A false start or anything that moves it backwards, they will go ahead and take the points and get in the locker room.
Dabo Fofana is the fullback, senior captain. The true freshman, Gutierrez, the third-string quarterback under center. Gives it to Heidenreich. There was a little miscommunication and a bit of a mess on the snap. It's a loss on the play, and now you got a kick.
Yeah, I think East Carolina just got penetration. They're trying to go lateral as opposed to downhill, where they've had the majority of the success in this drive. And East Carolina, with that fast defense, just not going to allow it. Not going to allow Heidenreich to get to the outside and score. And so they lose yardage. We just talked about it. If they didn't have anything positive, a field goal attempt was on the way.
Navy using its final timeout with 3 seconds and a field goal try for Nathan Kirkwood. It'll be a chip shot to tie the game.
Enjoyed our conversation with Brian Newberry as well. Now in his second year leading this program, has really turned things around from last year, a year ago, when they were 5-7. They've got that 7 wins on the win mark on their schedule, and looking for an eighth win.
Yeah, they want to win 10 games. If they win out, they can get to 10 games and 10 wins, which has only been done 5 previous times in program history. A 21-yarder for Kirkwood.
Big field goal here for this young man.
And now ECU will use its final timeout to make him think about it. Kirkwood, a cyber operations major. Dad Todd spent 36 years in the Air Force Reserves. As we've talked about, you get ready for a Navy game and you look all over the board at the personnel, and it just speaks to a higher purpose. These are the men who are going to be the future leaders of America.
He told us this week he had a 60-yarder in practice, so this is the old obvious chip shot for Nathan Kirkwood.
From 21 to tie the game. No good.
That timeout that Blake Harrell called may have worked. Just gave him a little bit more time to think about it.
In this first half between both teams, we have seen 5 total trips into the red zone.
Both teams have missed field goals.
No TDs and just 1 field goal. Maybe halftime can get some of that Thanksgiving meal out of the system.
I'm so iconic.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Target. It's the American Conference on ESPN. And Ashraf, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra from Greenville, North Carolina. And this first half feels like that post-Thanksgiving stupor, doesn't it?
Yeah, good. It's just a good defensive battle. And sometimes games turn out this way. You're expecting a lot more offense from East Carolina based on what they've done the last 4 weeks. Styles make fights. So that's what we have today, is two teams that are grinding it out against one another.
Yeah, 3-0 score at the break. Navy will get the ball to begin this third quarter. And you have a Navy team that's been able to move the ball at times, not quite finish drives. ECU has had the same problems on offense. Navy's last drive ended with a missed 21-yard field goal. Chance on a return here. And the midshipmen take it out to about the 25-yard line. Andre, a comedy of errors for both sides.
Yeah, it really has. With Navy, it's just, you can't finish. They get down inside, they get stopped on a 4th down, a turnover by their young quarterback, and then a missed field goal at the end of the half that would have tied it up. East Carolina early in the ball game missing on throws, easy throws when guys are wide open, and a field goal missed as well from close range. So it's just been tough treading for both teams and a lot of mistakes.
Braxton Woodson back out there for Navy to begin the third quarter, and the carry goes to Teska as we check in with Paul.
Yeah, Nish, I had a chance to look at Braxton Woodson at the end of the second quarter. He's moving around fine. Navy officials said he would be good to go. Brian Newberry felt the momentum of the run game was there in that second quarter, and he loved that full field drive they had to end the quarter, but he was livid with the fact that they missed that 21-yard field goal.
Out of the flat, it is Heidenreich with the catch.
Well, I really like what Braxton Woodson was doing. And who knows what Navy does if he stays in the game that final drive. He was leading them right down the field, got hit and contacted out of bounds by Deontay Johnson, lower leg injury, and he was kind of sidelined the remainder of the half, and they had to go to the youngster Jackson Gutierrez.
Defensively, Newberry said, have to force East Carolina east-west in the run game. They were gassed up the middle too much.
Woodson, quick hitter, and that's a first down. Heidenreich again with another catch. So Navy's got more passing yards than ECU. I don't know if that was on everyone's bingo card.
Yeah, a couple, just a quick hits right here, and did a nice job the play before of getting Woodson on the move and threw a nice accurate pass both downs in a row. And we may see more Navy passing.
And Woodson, remember, getting the start because Navy's starting quarterback Blake Horvath out with an injury. Here's the pitch. Tesco, the fullback, bullies his way to the 44-yard line, picking up 6.
Navy's hard to beat when they on early downs if they're 6 yards or more, because then they can just kind of grind out things. They end up at midfield, and anything close to midfield or beyond, fourth down, it's 4-down territory.
What does that do to a defense when you know you have to defend 4 downs?
Yeah, it kind of defeats you a little bit when you're thinking third downs, you're automatically programmed 3 downs, we're off the field for a punt or a field goal, but not against Navy.
Woodson keeps. ECU's done a pretty good job with its run fits today. Mike Edwards, one of their linebackers, he and Barker really the key cogs in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, he moved down to add some speed to this linebacker group. He was a safety at one point in his career, and he moved down, and he's graded out well the last couple of weeks at that spot.
3rd and 3, and again from here, potentially 4-down territory. Chapman goes wide, fullback dive, Tesca across midfield for a first down.
Navy doesn't flinch when it's 3rd down. A 3rd and 3, 3rd and short, because they know that they've got one more down that we just talked about in their back pocket. So you're looking for at least 2, but you get it down to 4th and short, they're going for it.
Into the game for Navy, Luke Hutchinson. He is their gadget play guy, a converted quarterback, 89 in white. Woodson's going to throw. Now he'll run. And Amtrak's a defender to the 46-yard line of ECU. Chad Stevens made the tackle but took the brunt of it.
A big 6th-year grad student. Chad Stevens, he's hard to move. Makes a lot of good plays as a defensive end.
And Woodson limping after the play. Late in that second quarter, he got nicked up on a run toward the sideline, had to come out of the game. We have seen Jackson Gutierrez, the freshman. The plan was to play both today with Horvath out. Not much going on there. Chapman gets suplexed back behind midfield.
I thought they took that out of the game. I thought for sure a flag was coming after that tackle by Surratt Ware.
No relation.
No relation. Tell the coach that too. Blake Harrell, when he was talking about it going through the 2 deep, and he mentioned Surratt Ware, and I was like, well, no relation. Good looking player though.
I knew you would say that. 3rd down, 6 to go. Woodson moves the pocket, had room to run. Instead, he fires a strike to Brandon Chapman His 14th catch of the season and a first down for Navy.
Well, not only is he accurate with it, the timing is perfect. And he's throwing the ball low because the defender is over his back. So you're trying to protect him as well as the football. You got a defender coming from inside. So if it's thrown a tick later, he's got a chance to get his hand on the football. That's just a good operation by Braxton Woodson.
They keep it on the ground to Heidenreich.
He just allows you to do so much more in this offense because of his physical gifts. He's big, so he can see over defenders or oncoming rushers at 6'3", 215. He can hold up in the running game. He's got speed. We've seen the arm strength. I think he may be in play here for future years at the Naval Academy.
A young man from a football family. Dad played at Auburn. Woodson on the move. Connects to Teska. That's actually Jake Norris, sophomore from Madison, Mississippi, just his 4th catch of the year. And another first down for Navy. And Andre, this is one of those typical Navy drives now. 6.5+ minutes.
I don't know about it, being typical, because there's not a whole lot of running that's going on. It's the passing, the arm of Woodson that's leading Navy down the field. But I do understand. I know the point you're getting at.
Typical in terms of length, not how they're moving downfield. They run it to Teska, and Navy in the red zone, a gain of 2.
Yeah, ECU, they're holding up against the running game, and especially the fullback Teska. He hasn't had a whole lot of room in which to operate. It's the arm of Woodson because of all the bodies inside the box. So you get somebody out on the edges. That's why plays are going for 8, 12 yards, because they're so packed inside.
Navy's been in the red zone twice. A turnover on downs and a missed field goal. And going back to the air. Another catch for Heidenreich, his 6th. It's 3rd down.
It's a heck of a job. I think he may be perfect on this drive through the air. 5 of 5 through the air on this drive is Braxton Woodson.
Came into the game with a career 40% completion rate.
This year at around 35, but they don't throw it a whole lot. He has done his thing on this drive and looking to put Navy on the board here.
Chapman got a block from Fofana to the outside, and Navy with the first touchdown of the game. It's Brandon Chapman from 16 yards out.
And he should go straight to Isaiah Bryant, who threw one heck of a block and just stayed on the block long enough for Chapman to get around the corner and into the end zone. That's a heck of a block. The job that 25 is doing on the outside, that's what makes the play. Turning a guy, staying on the block, and not picking up a holding call. What a nice drive, and to cap it off was Chapman getting into the end zone. But man, Isaiah Bryant, he's my MVP on that drive.
So now Kirkwood on for the PAT. Remember, he missed a 21-yard chip shot before halftime that would have tied the game. And this time he puts it through. So Navy engineers a 14-play, 76-yard drive. It took up almost 8 minutes of clock. Woodson goes 5 for 5, and Chapman applies the punctuation.
A bitter rivalry is reborn in a high-stakes collision. And we're coming to your city. The college football party on and on.
We're in the end game now. Final weekend of the regular season. Texas A&M. First meeting since 2011. A spot in the SEC championship game on the line. The average ticket price for that game at Kyle Field, more than $1,000. Wow. Squib kick. Fielded as a grounder. And ECU will begin out across the 30-yard line. We will step aside. Pirates, with 6:51 to go in the third, will have their first possession of this second half.
ECU's Elijah Morris has logged over 200 hours of community service since 2022, and he founded and has organized the Team Boneyard Turkey Drive that benefited the Joy Soup Kitchen, handing out 60 turkeys last Thanksgiving. And Monday of this week, him and the boys, they did the same. He told me he was looking to get 70 to 80 turkeys to those in need. He said, if you have the power or resources, why wouldn't you? His mom, Annie Morris, paved the way for that type of thinking. It sounds like the advice your grandma Marie would give you, Andre.
Yes, she would. No doubt about it. She'd actually cook the turkeys and take them. That's just her, though. Golly, I miss her.
The holiday season, also the giving season. Hauser had a rough first half, only 3 for 11, and he gets a quick hitter. That's Yannick Smith, 6'3" freshman from Somerville, South Carolina.
Good-looking youngster.
Boy, and he has played well the last couple of weeks with Chase Sowell injured.
Over 100 yards last week receiving on 7 catches and a touchdown.
There comes Harris. He's met by Jacob. A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd down. And this turns into a pivotal play for ECU. Navy, the last 2 times, has been able to drive the ball downfield. If you don't convert and you punt, you may not get the ball back until the 4th.
You start losing possessions when Navy gets hot. And your offense got to come to life behind Caden Hauser right now.
ECU only 1 for 8 on 3rd down today. Harris goes wide. It's an empty set. Screen pass. Harris, Navy fits it well. And stopped again. The marker. Jacob, another play. The senior out of Paramus, New Jersey, where he was a 2-time high school wrestling captain.
He ran for close to 3,000 yards in school as well. And you know, I like wrestlers. They just know that sport goes hand in hand with football. Because it's close action, you got to know body position, you got to be strong inside and move people. I like what Kyle Jacob is showing in this game so far.
Larson will punt it away. Lane lets it bounce, fields it on a hop, and he's going to be cut down immediately. A 42-yard punt, and we'll see where they spot the football. But Navy gets the long 8-minute drive and the touchdown, then the 3 and out. And now back on offense.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know. Years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, geez. No. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Week 13 of the NFL and the Sunday Countdown crew has you covered. They take you behind the scenes of Bijan Robinson's acting career with his acting coach, Matthew McConaughey. That story and more Sunday at 10 a.m. on ESPN. The Chicago Bears making news today, firing head coach Matt Eberflus after the disaster in Detroit yesterday. 6 losses in a row for the Bears. Meanwhile, Navy, the last 2 drives, double-digit plays on each drive. They're moving the football. And if they put together another one of those time-consuming vintage Navy drives, all of a sudden this game shrinks and the margin for error disappears completely for ECU.
Yeah, and you can best believe they're warming up, because in their last 3 games in the 3rd quarter, they were scoreless. They come out of the locker room and go right down the field behind the arm of Braxton Woodson and the running of of Teska. And all of a sudden they hand it off to Chapman, who gets a great block on the outside from Isaiah Bryant. Here comes Navy.
2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 on 1st down. Woodson in there. Slippery. Turns the corner and out of bounds across the 20. It's 3rd down. Now, sometimes context, Andre, is important, right? Navy has lost 3 of 4. People see them struggling. Well, 2 of those losses were Notre Dame and Tulane. Very good teams. ECU, under Blake Harrell, they had won 4 in a row.
Then they were on the road at Rice for that 5-hour-plus game with the rain delays, and not making excuses for them. But those are tough conditions to play in, especially when you travel that far and all the delays that were involved in that game.
ECU, their 4 wins in this win streak. 3 of the teams fired their head coach. The 4th, North Texas, fired their defensive coordinator. Incomplete 4th down, and the Pirates get a huge stop, and they'll get the ball back with 4:02 to go.
It's an excellent stop there for East Carolina, and they had to figure some things out. Otherwise, this game might get away from them. Get a nice stop there. They're going to have some decent field position to start their next drive.
Riddle back deep. Winston Wright, their normal punt return man, has been a little banged up, and so they don't have him on the returns today. Reithman, the aerospace engineering major, to punt. And we get a flag, a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Riddle from inside his own 40. Gets free. And out close to midfield after a 44-yard kick. Landon Robinson finally made the special teams tackle. Here are your current college football playoff rankings presented by Capital One. I'm excited to see what happens in the Big 12 this weekend, Andre. 4 teams with the same league record. None of them play each other.
I'm excited to see what happens in the SEC, especially with that game tomorrow with Texas A&M and Texas. Who else gets in? Does Georgia get in just by standing by and not getting into the championship game? Does the loser in the championship game, if it happens to be Texas, are they still in the play?
Hauser downfield had Smith open and couldn't hit him.
Boy, he has had some guys wide open. Had the tight end, Tyler Savage, in the back of the end zone. Wide open early in the game, and he's missed and just can't seem to find his footing in this one.
Hauser, since taking over for Jake Garcia, has given this team a spark. Here comes Winston Wright, 6th-year senior from Spanish Moss-covered Savannah, for a gain of 2.
We saw Hauser try to connect deep, and Blake Harrell, the head coach at ECU, told me at half, there are opportunities for a deep ball. We have to connect with accuracy. We can't drop balls. And defensively, he was happy with the way they played the run. He said, you can't relax against Navy. They will get you once you put your guard down defensively.
Yeah, I think Hauser's trying to be too perfect right now. He's just got to allow guys to make plays for him.
There's the screen. Winston Wright is going to be shy of the line to gain. 4th down. Kelly went down after the play, was trying to plead for a flag, and it looks like ECU is going to go for it inside the 45 of Navy.
They may just try to draw Navy off sides here with a hard count. Coach Newberry, I'm telling him, hey, stay in there, hold your water.
Downfield, incomplete in the direction of the true freshman Yannick Smith. Newberry pumps his fists, and Navy takes over with 2:25 left in the third.
Yeah, nobody really open. It's excellent coverage on the back end by the Naval Academy, and Hauser's just kind of running out of room, tries to squeeze one into the tall receiver, Yannick Smith. Maybe right there. You got the corner peeling back and helping out. And because of the stop by the Naval Academy, they're going to have some excellent field position to start this drive.
Andre, Hauser struggles today. Navy's defense or his own making?
I think it's a little bit of both. Trying to do and be too accurate, too perfect.
Heidenreich was open. Woodson was on the move and
couldn't really turn his shoulders.
Really get his feet set and his body right.
Yeah, he wanted to, but he had to get some room away from the defender so he could actually throw it. And then when he did, just didn't square up enough to get the football in that vicinity. You asked me about Hauser. I think he's trying to be a little too perfect on certain throws. You need to just let it rip. And then Navy has been, they've made some throws for him that have been a little tough.
Not much for Chapman, who has the lone touchdown of this game. It's 3rd and long.
Which is exactly where Navy does not want to be. So they're looking to pick up about 6 yards here. And if they pick up the 6, they'll go for it on 4th down. If not, they'll punt it away and play defense with a 7-3 lead.
Blake Horvath in the red hat, not playing today, the Navy starting quarterback. We've seen Woodson, the second stringer, and Gutierrez, the true freshman, who's QB3. Woodson to throw. He's got time. Steps up, eluding the pursuit. Got a great block by Teska, and it's a 1st down at the 40-yard line. The awareness of 46 and White, seeing his quarterback was running to pick up the block.
Well, you got plenty of unselfish players on this Navy football team, and that's what it is. It takes that sometimes unselfish play, guys not really wanting the ball, but they're willing to help someone else in their success, like an Isaiah Bryant, like an Alex Teska. Can you tell I like that block by Isaiah Bryant
earlier? Oh, yeah.
Man, I love that type of stuff.
He did not leave his man. Now Navy will bleed clock. Fullback dive. Teska, when they pick up 4 or 5 yards on that dive on 1st down, it just changes the entire calculus.
Tough to stop them, especially now where they are, where they're located on the field, past the 50-yard line in plus yardage territory. You're picking up 4 yards a click, 3 yards a click. You're going for it on 4th down. That'll wear a defense right down.
Heidenreich with a 1st down, still moving, angling toward the end zone. Touchdown, Navy.
What a heck of a job of running by Eli Heidenreich. I mean, he made some cuts, set up some nice blocks. Ben Purvis, the left guard out in front, nice block, and then it's just all Heidenreich. And the speed of getting to the end zone. Oh boy, here comes Navy.
Heidenreich today, 50 yards on the ground, 36 on that TD run, 41 receiving yards. The extra point by Kirkwood is good. Eli Heidenreich, earlier this year against Air Force, became the first player in the history of the Naval Academy to rush for 100 and have 100 receiving yards in the same game, and he has given Navy a 2-score lead. This season, Allstate celebrates every field goal and PAT with a donation to the participating university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Andre, now if you're ECU, you feel this game getting squeezed.
Yeah, it's tough.
You feel the crunch.
Because of who you're playing, and you give Navy a 2-score lead, it's tough to come back from that. You're going to have to score and score quickly and then find a way to shut down an offense that seems to be heating up. It's like a shooter. You know, they've been cold all game long. Now he's gotten hot. And you got to figure out a way to get to a defender. That's exactly where East Carolina is right now.
Are you offering a recap of your pickup basketball game yesterday?
That was a lot of fun. Got to do that with my son. And first time that we've gone, we went 1-1. Won the first game, lost the second one, but he's got an invitation back from the fellas. That's for sure. Held his own yesterday.
Now your son is a guard. Are you a post player, or do you play out on the perimeter?
I do a little bit of all of it.
Here comes Patterson.
After all that pecan pie, he's the post guy. Just give it to the big guy up front, man. We'll let it happen.
That was a pre-pecan pie, no doubt. I knew I had to go get some kind of exercise because I was going to have a big meal no matter what.
Dad strength. You could never let Z beat you. You know that.
No, I'll foul him to death, hack him before I let him beat me.
How many times, be honest, were you cherry picking?
No, I don't. It ticks me off when guys do it, so I never do it.
On first down, it is Rajay Harris. And that will take us to the fourth quarter. ECU in the last 3 seasons, 0-15 when trailing after 3 quarters. It's the first time under Blake Harrell that they have trailed after 3.
On the mountaintop, national champion.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Between the third and fourth quarters, emotions bubbled on the field for both teams.
And Navy was just kind of celebrating between the third and fourth quarter, and ECU was like, hey, not on our field. So they walked, both teams walked almost out to the center of the field and almost had a little dust up.
Hauser looking downfield. Instead, he checks down. And it's Yannick Smith for a first down. ECU the last 2 games has been a fourth quarter team. Pulled it out late against Tulsa. They were down, remember, 21-7 at the half, 21-0 at one point in the game against North Texas. Hauser now 7 for 17, only 50 yards passing. Maybe gets to sub because ECU subbed.
And then Rajay Harris maybe look for a run of some sort here.
Play clock down to 2. Harris smashed right at the point of attack by Kenneth McShann.
Call it, say he is a big-time producer, and he produced right there.
High school quarterback recruited as a wide receiver. There's Anthony Smith hauling it in for a first down in Navy territory.
Now all of a sudden, Hauser's letting it rip. First completion to Smith, and he comes back there with, goes to the other Smith, Anthony.
Goes right back to Anthony Smith. Now the challenge is when you play Navy and they put together a couple of long drives and you're a tempo offense, it takes you out of your rhythm.
Yeah, you're sitting on the sideline a long time. We play teams that ran the option. You'd stay warm on the sideline, just throwing it around a lot.
Harris with a huge hole. And he torpedoes for another ECU first down. Lane to safety to stop. A gain of 14.
Well, you know, all of a sudden, here comes East Carolina, and Rajay Harris goes down.
And Harris calling to the bench after taking the huge hit at the end of the game, end of the play.
Almost looks like he got the wind knocked out of him on that play.
And now the officials have to break things up. We saw things get testy in the quarter break.
Wow. Hey, there's John Lane, the third.
Lane and Winston Wright. Savage comes in to play peacemaker. Harris able to jog off.
Lane and Wright going at each other.
So Harris will go into the tent.
He is fun to watch. I hope he comes out of the tent and back on the field. It's just, you like good entertainment, Rajon Harris gives you that from the running back spot.
Yeah, they try to limit him a little in the first half so he's fresh, especially in the third and fourth quarter. London Montgomery now off the bench. Redshirt freshman from Dunder Mifflin Land, Scranton, PA. A Penn State transfer.
Crowd trying to get in this game and help this offense get in the end zone.
Winston Wright motions to the slot. Hauser, his pass dropped by Anthony Smith.
Too many drops by Anthony Smith in this one today. You got to hold on to those. You got a struggling quarterback, and he's accurate with the football on this drive to find a way to help him out. And that one should have been caught, tucked. And if you're tackled right there, so what? But you've got to catch the football.
Third drop by ECU today. Hauser lets it fly. Incomplete. Looking for Anthony Smith again. Double covered by Lane. And the boundary corner Peel.
Yeah, trying to show some confidence in him and trust that you go right back to him. He's super fast. He sometimes gets to 22.5, 23 miles an hour. He's got elite speed, but you have to hang on to the football.
Grad transfer from NC State. And sometimes the track guys, and he was a big-time track guy in high school, it takes them a little longer. Never really had a big production at NC State, but this year he's been a difference maker. Leading ECU in receiving yards. Here comes the blitz. There's the screen for Winston Wright, and he's tackled by Lane after just a yard. Boy, if Wright gets free, they had it blocked up.
My goodness, did Lane show some speed? You start to see why he's so attractive to the NFL scouts. Watch the speed in which the ground he covers. Once he recognizes the play, then he gets there and makes the play. That is why the NFL scouts are raving about Rayon Lane III.
Looked like nitrate Lane on that play.
Yes, he did. 3-year starter and an economics major.
48-yard field goal attempt for Conrad. His kick on its way. And good. That's big. ECU makes it a one-score game. 11:59 left on senior day at Dowdy-Ficklen. You're watching ESPN College Football presented by Target. Anae Schroff, Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra. Greenville, North Carolina, the site for this one. ECU, first game under Blake Harrell as the full-time head coach. He went 4-0 as the interim. That's how he lost the interim tag. Navy, after a 6-0 start, had lost 3 of 4, up 14-3 on the road. The midshipmen have said they want to win 10 games. They went out, they can get there. SEC tripleheader on ABC tomorrow. Starting at noon, Tennessee goes to Nashville to take on Vandy. You got the Iron Bowl, and then you got Texas and Texas A&M. Winner plays Georgia in the SEC title game.
That's a nice little quiet rivalry.
Quiet?
Tennessee and Vanderbilt. But the other two, no, nothing quiet about those two. Not a thing.
119th meeting all time between Texas and Texas A&M, but first time since 2011 and first time with both as SEC members. Woodson comes out throwing. It's a high throw, and it's brought in for a gain of 6 by Nathan Kent, who's also a sprinter on the Navy track team.
Give him a little more than 6. That's where the route, they actually had the chains not fully extended. It kind of tricked me a little bit, but that's exactly where you run the hitch route, is at 6 yards. A nice, well-timed by Woodson.
On second down, Teska moves the chains.
All of a sudden, Anish, this Navy offense starting to find its footing. Teska having success, and keep an eye on the clock as this game gets later here in the fourth quarter. Woodson coming to life. Heidenreich, he's coming to life. And all the supporting cast doing their jobs.
Chapman motions out. Again, they'll throw. Downfield, wide open. Touchdown, Navy. His name is Kent. He can run like Kal-El. 61 yards to pay dirt.
Yeah, they talked about wanting to get him the ball on a deep post. Well, I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily define that as a deep post, but man, wide open in the middle of the field. And how does a guy 6'3", 180 pounds come that wide open? Watch him right from the top of the screen. You got the ball action, the play fake in the backfield. Yeah, it's a post route, and an excellent throw by Woodson, well timed. Navy, here they come.
The PAT good by Kirkwood. And now for ECU, the challenge to make up 2 scores with 10:48 to go against the midshipmen of Navy.
ESPN College Football is presented by Target. Happier holidays from Target.
They crown world champions here in Greenville. It's the home of the Little League Softball World Series that takes place every August at Stallings Stadium, which is less than a mile from Dowdy-Ficklin.
All of a sudden, you've got a jovial Navy sideline. They are feeling it, and rightfully so. Got an unselfish play going on, and I'll tell you what, Blake Harbath may want to heal up real quick, get back on the field, because Braxton Woods is playing some ball.
He's going to have an extra week, and then Navy will play Army in the 125th Army-Navy game. Jari Patterson makes his way past the 20-yard line, and now the sense of urgency heightens for ECU. Some extracurriculars after the play. It's been testy since the start of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, since that little skirmish at close to the middle of the field.
Who had this Navy for
not I.
Almost 100 more yards than its opponent today.
They throw for that amount of yards and that kind of success. Navy's usually winning ball games.
Kelly, the tight end, motions. Hauser on first down, keeps it on the ground. It's Montgomery, and a gain of about 2.
You know, Anish, Rajay Harris, the top runner for ECU, he was limping off the field on that last possession. He was in the tent. I saw him running around. It looks like he might be coming back into this game.
Now I see with the helmet on the sideline. Hauser in trouble and cannot escape. The sack by Justin Reed, one of the top pass rushers in the American.
Yeah, he played early in his career at Navy. He's been banged up lately, but solid and ready to go for this one. Doesn't give up on it and just kind of finds his way to Hauser's door.
He's Navy's top sack artist. 5.5 on the season. 3rd down, 9 to go. Four-man twist from Navy. And a strike for a first down. Winston Wright, a gain of 12. The official had to duck to get out of the way.
Yeah, that was a nice throw. Nice time, well timed on the part of Caden Hauser to Winston Wright Jr.
Blitz off the edge, downfield. Yannick Smith can't hold on.
And those are the plays. That's been the difference in the game, where you've had guys like Yannick Smith and Anthony Smith dropping balls, Navy reeling those in. They're taking advantage of the big plays that are there, and East Carolina can't seem to hold on this afternoon.
And Yannick Smith was making those kind of plays the last few weeks. As Montgomery muscles forward, it brings up a 3rd down. 6 to go.
Montgomery out of Scranton, PA, as you mentioned earlier. Started his career at Penn State, made his way here, and he's kind of gotten back in the rhythm. He's their home run hitter. They really like him. Didn't play his his senior year in high school.
Incomplete in the direction of Yannick Smith, and you almost have to go for it now, given what Navy's been able to do offensively.
I think you're right, and Navy with a stop here can really, really do some damage getting the football back with a short field. Almost making it impossible. It's certainly an uphill climb for East Carolina. They don't convert here.
Big fourth down. Hauser, the pitch. Montgomery gets there for the first down. Crowd wanted a horse collar on Kyle Jacob.
That's a great tackle by Jacob coming from inside out. They've got a couple of really good players on all levels of their defense. We talked about Justin Reed. He had a sack. Kyle Jacob on that tackle, and then Rayon Lane, the third, and what he's done on the back end.
Long throw. Winston right near the sticks. A gain of 9.
When you have 3 players like that on every level of the defense, you give yourself a chance for success every single weekend.
Rajay Harris re-enters the game.
Good to see him back. Fun player to watch.
Got a 2nd and 1. Shot play could be in order. Both Smiths, Anthony lined up at the top, Yannick at the bottom, can get behind the defense. Blitz off the edge. Instead, it's Harris straight ahead, and he's got enough.
It's like the body lean in which Harris runs with. Tough runner inside. He's got just enough speed to break a few for you if you need him. He catches it, protects the passer. That's all you can ask for out of a running back.
And a unicorn in today's game.
Yes.
A 5th-year senior who has spent his entire career
in one spot
with the Pirates. Hauser's throw, hauled in by Wright again. About a yard shy of the marker, 2nd and 1.
Now, this is a free play for me. I'm telling you, this is an instance where I would take a shot.
Hauser pumps. Tight window. And Anthony Smith hangs on to this one. Nope, he did not. Incomplete. ECU thought they had the first down.
Yeah, they may take a look at this. Keep in mind, in college football, every play is reviewed, so it's moving around a lot.
The ruling on the field was incomplete. Does the ball ever hit the ground? That's the question. And when it does,
it looks like
secured. It doesn't look like they'll have enough to take a closer look
or find it fast enough.
And ECU decides to just plunge ahead with Harris for a first down.
Carolina needs to take a shot at some point.
Clean pocket. There's Wright again, finding the soft spot in the defense and beating Williams there for the tackle. Another first down.
Yeah, what I like is that they're moving quickly. They understand that the clock's against them right now.
14th play of the drive. They go right back to Winston Wright, who's been a busy bee on this drive. Up to 8 catches on 9 targets for the afternoon.
You got to be in shape when you run in a tempo offense.
Pirates in the red zone where they've struggled today. Here's Harris. 3rd down.
Because of the way he runs the ball, he's always falling forward. And never does he get backed up or engaged in the backfield or loses yards. It's always a positive run with Harris.
Now a rare huddle up. This may be more just to catch a breath. Riles, the fullback, in the eye. Hauser floats one to the end zone, and Winston Wright caps the drive with a touchdown.
Got behind Williams Jr. Mbidi Williams Jr. This is a heck of a throw by Hauser. It's going to put some air under it and allow Winston Wright to run under it.
ECU will try a PAT here to make it an 8-point game, and then they'll need their defense to come up with a stop. (21-13), 5.5 to go. Winston Wright, 6 catches on the last drive for ECU, including the touchdown to make it a 1-score game. Caton Hauser, 6 for 9 on the last drive, and all 6 completions went to Winston Wright. Now, if you're ECU, do you think about an onside kick? Certainly, Navy seems to be ready for it.
Well, Navy's obviously ready for it, but I think it's a little bit early. You still have 3 timeouts. You've got a lot of time on the clock. You need to stop by your defense and a quick score by your offense. That fixes everything. So I don't think you're going to give Navy a short field the way they're rolling right now.
Noah Perez is their onside kick specialist, but it's Everett Scott to send it away. And Navy will have the ball at the 25-yard line. Braxton Woodson making his first start of the season, second of his career after a bit of a slow go. He's picked it up.
Yeah, he's gotten it done on the ground, and he's been special there. Fought his way back from an injury with that late hit out of bounds, but it's been on the end of his arm that Navy has made this comeback and got sparked in the second half, just throwing to open receivers. East Carolina going for eye candy, allowing receivers to get behind him, and Braxton Woodson has played one heck of a game and getting his team back in this thing and ultimately giving them the lead.
Chapman on the sweep, stays in bounds and maneuvers the sideline.
I thought again there was another East Carolina defender offsides, but they allow them inside, and that gives them the edges, because all they got to do now is just wall it off and get to the outside with Chapman.
Navy will take its time.
A little hurried. Shouldn't snap this ball until we're under 10 seconds.
Fullback dive, ECU all over it. Looked like a snapshot of Provence with all the purple. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, they get excellent penetration up front, and that just stops the fullback right in his tracks. Exactly what East Carolina needs. Bring up 3rd down. It's still 3rd and short, but it's an area that if they were able to come up here with a stop, might force a punt here by Navy, not giving East Carolina that short field.
4.5 to go in regulation. Split backs out of a pistol. One goes wide. Woodson will throw. Chapman spins. And let's see where they spot him, right at the 35. And that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
Yep. Here comes more time off the clock. And so if you're Blake Harrell, when do you start taking these timeouts to give your offense a chance? You know that Navy's going to eat up a bunch of them. And I think it may be right here. If they have a stop on 1st down, you'll start to see the timeouts.
The Pirates have the 3 timeouts, like you said, plus the 2-minute timeout.
Yes, indeed.
Woodson 12 of 19 through the air. This time on the ground, broken tackle. And staying in bounds as he's tripped up is Eli Heidenreich.
He's got some speed,
27
wheels. We saw it on the touchdown run. It's on display again, and watch how he makes defenders miss. Excellent block by Chapman, breaking a tackle. Chapman gets up and makes a 2nd block. Man, he could play for me. Chapman, Isaiah Bryant, I love guys that are unselfish, that are willing to help their teammates no matter what. That's a heck of an effort by Brandon Chapman. We may come back to that replay after this one, because the effort to block and then get up and throw a 2nd block.
Woodson got a block from his fullback into open field for a Navy touchdown.
Man, they may have to find a way to get Woodson on the field. He's so dynamic. And that's when Horvath comes back. So dynamic. I think he's benefiting from all the reps that he gets in practice. Equal amount of reps with the starter. Braxton Woodson was not surprised by East Carolina in anything they do, but another nice block by Alex Teska. That's what sprung Woodson into the end zone. 280 yards for Navy today.
Kirkwood's PAT gets blocked. It's 27-13. Now, if you're ECU, you have a quick strike offense. You've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. You need a quick score. You need an onside kick. But, again, their ability to score fast still gives them a chance in this game.
It better be on display right now, because what Navy's done is unreal here in the second half. 280 yards rushing. In wins, they've gone 281 a game. In losses, 154, and they're already at the 280 mark in this one. So hold on, strap up, buckle up. Let's watch the ride here to the finish.
And on the flip side for ECU, Andre, their last 4 games, this 4-game win streak, they had 500+ yards of total offense in each game, 200+ rushing yards in each of those games. Today, under 250 total offense, 128 on the ground.
What a second half. They miss a field goal going in. Coach Newberry, he's going nuts on his kicker. And I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the locker room at halftime to see exactly what was said, because my goodness, they played some football here in the second half.
4 touchdown drives in the second half. Gossett's kick bounces. Patterson fields it at the 2. At the 20, where he's met by Jacob. And ECU with the football here in the 4th quarter. Monday Night Football this week. Jameis Winston and the Browns, and the Mile High City to take on Bo Nix and the Broncos. I don't know, Andre, when I think of Browns, Broncos, I think of 2 words, the fumble, and then the other 2 words, the drive.
Yeah. Yep. I tell you what, this young man's playing some pretty good football in his first year, his rookie year. 69%. It's 10th. That's 10th in the NFL. That's amazing.
He might be the offensive rookie of the year. Savage for the first down at the 35-yard line.
It's mind-boggling that there are 9 other guys that have better than 69% completion rates for the season.
That's the age we live in.
That's sick.
Delayed blitz, intercepted. Jacob picks it up for Navy. Rumbling, tumbling all the way to the ECU 15-yard line.
Hauser just a tad off today. And Jacob, who's played some great football, and we talked about it. There's 3 on one on every level. Jacob being the one in the middle, just eyeing the eyes of the quarterback, and he just reacts to it. Hauser stays there with his eyes locked on his tight end Savage, and Jacob makes him pay.
So ECU's 4-game win streak about to come to an end. And Brian Newberry and Navy going on the road against a hot Pirates team, and on the verge of a win here. Navy still has 1 regular season game left, the biggest on their schedule, as they keep it on the ground here on first down. They got Army coming up in a couple of weeks, Andre, and
well, I tell you what it's done. It's given Army something to think about in terms of who's going to play quarterback for Navy. Is it going to be Horvath, and we have to face him, or what does it bring, or what's the offense look like with Braxton Woodson in at quarterback? And we've already told a story about how they share reps, equal amount of reps in practice for Horvath and Woodson. Man, that's a lot of preparation for Army.
And Andre, during the holiday season, I think it's apropos if we mention Navy play-by-play announcer Pete Medhurst, who is in a fight with brain cancer. Pete, if you're listening, if you're watching, we're all praying for you. We're all rooting for you. And we're hoping you get well as soon as you can.
Absolutely.
And we see you down the hall in no time. Woodson will keep it here. And he's got his second touchdown on the ground today. And that should do it here in Greenville.
He is a phenomenal athlete. And he's learning to play the position of quarterback at the Naval Academy. They've got a very, very bright future with that young man under center. No doubt about it. You can do some special things with him. He is, once he develops a little bit more as a passer, this offense should skyrocket to new heights.
The last PAT for Kirkwood was blocked. We get a whistle. Now, the surprising part about Woodson's game today was
start from the 62 offense. 5-yard penalty throughout the try.
That's Bouton. Woodson's ability through the air today, Andre. He came in as a 40% career passer, 35% on the season. He got better as a passer as this game went along. Early on, we saw him miss some throws and then seemed to really settle down in the second half.
Something about knowing when you're going to start a game as opposed to when you're just going to play in a game. And the switch flips, it's a little bit different in your preparation and things of that sort. He's been magical at times in this game. And really, I think it got started with him and his passing. The drive out of the locker room, they went right down the field. Now he's added the running element to it with two touchdown runs in here in the second half. It's been fun to watch, fun to cover.
125 rushing yards. That's a career high. 165 through the air. 3 total touchdowns. Navy has run for almost 300 yards today, and all of their scoring has come in the second half.
Yeah, and I love that scene. Coach goes over, gives him a big hug and a kiss on the head. He realizes how valuable Braxton Woodson is. Love that scene.
Now, there's a reason all season long, even with Horvath playing at an all-conference level for most of the season when he was healthy, these two split the first-team reps. It's because Navy believes in Woodson's future as well.
And as well, you don't know when an offense like Navy runs, you don't know when a guy's going to go down. So it's a smart thing to do. And I don't understand why more teams, NFL teams, should adopt that, where you're giving a backup more work. So if something happens with the starter, you know, you got to go to the second guy. He's ready when you have to call his number.
And in this day and age in college football, the hardest thing is to have depth at quarterback.
Because of the portal. You're absolutely right.
Flag down.
And that flag came from all the way over from the Navy sideline to about midfield, and it hit an East Carolina player as he was trotting off the field.
The official who threw it with an arm like Uncle Rico.
Here in the return, holding, number 42, return team. 10-yard penalty, it'll be first down, 2-minute timeout.
We'll take a timeout. Navy 34, ECU 13.
The final 2 minutes, presented by Allstate.
We have reached the final 2 minutes, brought to you by Allstate. Navy with all 34 points, 5 touchdowns in the second half, and that man Braxton Woodson, 165 yards through the air, 125 on the ground, has accounted for 3 of Navy's 5 scores. Hauser will throw, and he finds Anthony Smith, who reroutes out of bounds, a gain of 15. Stops the clock with 1:51.
Excellent timing on the throw from Hauser to Smith. He does the smart thing, getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
Patterson able to haul it in through the contact from Giuseppe Sessi.
Got to score quickly here.
First down momentarily stops the clock. ECU can't score quickly. And Rajay Harris runs into gridlock.
Trying to catch Navy sleeping and maybe sneak a run through there. But Navy not going to be fooled. Disciplined team, and they show it there.
One timeout remaining for ECU. You still have to give Blake Harrell a ton of credit for what he did here in Greenville. He was the defensive coordinator. At 3-4, ECU fires Mike Houston after back-to-back losses. He steps in, makes a couple of moves early. One was bringing himself down from the box to the field, and also the same with his offensive coordinator. And then they decided to really look at what was missing, and they just felt guys were too tense.
Weren't having fun.
Not having enough fun. They lightened up practice, shortened meetings, shortened practice, made football fun again, and you've seen the results. And for the last month or so, as Hauser launches downfield, Yannick Smith brings it in for a score. That's a promising true freshman, and there's a flag at the end of the play.
Yeah, you're going to have a unsportsmanlike penalty. And then now Yannick Smith throws the ball at him, so he gets a penalty thrown on him. So they may be offsetting here. The official, he threw his flag, then he had to throw his hat. The back judge there. See what the official word is here.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, personal foul, number 16, defense for late hit. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 15, East Carolina. Those penalties cancel. We'll have to try.
Yeah, I mean, Yannick Smith, after the fact, should not have thrown the football back at the defender, Sessi. I mean, that's a little late. I get it, but you can't go right back at him. Oh boy.
That was you at the Y yesterday.
Oh boy.
34-20.
But what it does is it takes the advantage away on the kickoff, because that's where you were going to see the yardage for East Carolina. Now everything's kind of wiped clean, and we do it the old normal way.
Yeah, especially with a likely onside kick coming here.
Yeah. Imagine if the onside kick's coming and you got 15 more yards. You know what I'm saying? You score a lot faster.
And just to finish the thought on Blake Harrell, for the last month, there have been a number of players going on social media in their conversations with the media who have come out and very publicly and boldly stated Blake Harrell needs to be the head coach for ECU. There was a hashtag movement, and he ends up getting the job. What it does, it allows you to keep your core of players, because the reality in this day of college football is as soon as there's a coaching change,
they're gone.
Anybody on your roster who has any semblance of talent and is able to help somebody else, legal or not, by the rules or not, it doesn't matter. They're getting poached. They're getting text messages. They're getting direct messages.
I saw
That's just the reality of college football.
I saw that happen at my alma mater right after the spring game. 11 who would have contributed mightily to the program entered the portal and went elsewhere, and are starting at other programs. So it's real. They did and handled it, I thought, in a very professional manner here at East Carolina, and the right man got the job, that's for sure.
Navy calls a timeout.
You guys are talking about Blake Harrell, and Zakai Barker, their star linebacker, told me Harrell is getting everything that he deserves. You know, a lot of times an interim head coach will kind of just sit back and try to just continue to do things the way they were, but he turned everything upside down. He took the burden of being a head coach head on. He's very intellectual. He's tapped into all of his players, offensively and defensively. Yeah, he's the defensive coordinator, but on the other side of the ball as well. Barker went on to say he understands the mental and physical aspect of how to manage a player, and it was a big exhale when he got the news that he'd be the permanent head coach.
Yeah, Clark, he talked more about the offensive side than he did the defense in our conversation with him.
Onside kick is recovered by Navy. Andre, this past week, the Navy seniors received their service assignments. This is a big deal. And you know, for the men and women who come out of the Naval Academy, you're often reminded of the higher purpose. And when you look at what some of the players on this team do in terms of the classes they take, the schedule and the regiment they have, and then what they do once they leave the academy, whether it's a Marine Corps pilot, a Navy pilot, being in the medical corps, the purpose is higher and the purpose is greater. And we're going to look at these young men who are playing football out here today and all the other men and women at the Naval Academy. Those are the future leaders of our country. And again, when you hear about the sacrifices they make at this age and while in college, it's so different than what anything is asked of any other student athlete outside of Navy, Air Force, and Army.
The unselfish stuff that we see, I mean, they live it every single day and every single day of their lives, and going forward it will be even more so of that. And so they learn it and pick it up right here, but it holds true for years and years to come. It's a special thing to watch. We always enjoy doing these games that involve the academies because it is a different flavor. It's a refreshing flavor to see that the game is still played simply by the love of it and not what you can gain financially.
Navy with one final kneel down to seal it. They get their 8th win of the season, and there is one game left for the Naval Academy. In a couple of weeks, they will take on Army, the 125th Army-Navy game. And if Navy wins that game, they will claim the Commander-in-Chief trophy. They already beat Air Force. Final score, Navy 34, East Carolina 20, as we go down to ball.
Coach, talk about a tale of two halves. You had 0 on the scoreboard in half one and then 34 in half two. What changed?
Well, credit to our players and our offensive staff, first of all. Did a great job making some adjustments at halftime. Our guys didn't press, they didn't flinch. Came out and played really well in the second half. Super proud of Braxton Woodson, man. He came alive in the second half, and we couldn't be more proud of those guys. Thought we played tremendous on defense throughout the game, so super proud.
On the field, what impressed you the most about Braxton?
Well, he was clutch. Him running the football, making some really good decisions, making some nice throws, and ran the offense. He finally got comfortable, played with some confidence, which he needed, and just super proud of him today.
ECU came in red hot offensively, averaging over 40 points their last 4 games. You held them to half that amount. How?
Yeah, played lights out on defense. You know, Coach Volker and defense staff put together a great plan. The kids went out and executed it.
Thank you, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And a happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. We hope you enjoy your Black Friday and your holiday season. Final score from Dowdy Ficklin, Navy 34, ECU 20. For the Heisman winner, Andre Ware and Paul Carcaterra, I'm Anish Shroff. Thank you for watching. It's a full slate of college basketball coming up on ESPN. But first, we check in with the studio and our man, Kevin Connors.